It's like you look at the talent out there. You could pick one guy. You don't have to give him. We say his name, but we'll give him a different name so we're not tampering.
Yeah, maybe he's a pass rusher for another team 3 hours away, and he got paid about $40 million this year.
Gotcha. 3 hours away.
3 hours.
I'm kind of not good with
where did LeBron James play basketball?
Oh,
Brandon Beane on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast about you could add any one player to this team. He basically is saying there, Myles Garrett.
I'm glad he threw in the LeBron thing at the end because he could have also meant T.J. Watt just from the first clue.
Did he get $40 million?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So he could have meant either, and then he made it very clear. Oh, he's talking about Myles Garrett.
Garrett over T.J. Watt. Don't tell Andrew Filippone. He's going to be very upset about that.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett. He says Myles Garrett. Can I have a little license here? Can I have a little room to stretch?
Yeah, go ahead. It's,
a little room
what time
to
is it?
Stretch my legs?
6:33. And go ahead. No one's awake anyway.
Listen, having Myles Garrett would be awesome. There's no doubt about that. He's amazing. He's a great player. He commands so much attention and gravity. He gets double-teamed more than anybody. He beats double teams. He's an unbelievable player, and the Bills should, of course, want to have him on the team. However, I'd like to stretch my legs on this point.
His nickname is also Superman, by the way, on Pro Football Reference.
Very good.
As
Great.
my hunt continues, there's like 16 players that have the nickname Superman.
Whenever the point is brought up about another premier position that's paid very well, yes, wide receiver, I get an endless deluge of who's the last really great receiver to win a Super Bowl. Ready? Let's play that game with defensive end. Let's play that game with the Patriots. 20 years. How many Super Bowls? Who's their best ever defensive end in that stretch? Who was it? Can you name three?
Michael Bennett for New England?
Yeah.
Although he might have been. No, he was on Seattle. That's not even right.
Who's the best? Where are the great defensive ends in winning Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Of course, part of my point is here. I think that argument is always weak at best about any position that's not quarterback. Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks win. We know that. But every once in a while, people will try to just apply it to, when's the last really great running back? Oh, now we got Barkley. Okay, scratch that off the list. Who's the last really great linebacker, safety? But anytime we talk receiver, people will try to say that. Well, the Chiefs did it without any. I mean, they had Tyreek Hill for a couple of theirs. Oh, Brady didn't have any receivers. Well, he had a couple when he was in Tampa. Tight end, he had Gronk, of course. Mm-hmm. Mahomes had Kelsey.
Yep.
Sometimes this reverse, hey, did they have a great one of these guys? The Chiefs are amidst the dynasty. Who's the best defensive end? Frank Clark?
Yeah.
George Karlaftis.
I was actually just looking.
These are good players.
I was looking at the highest paid defensive ends in the league and like how far down the list you have to go to guys that have won the Super Bowl. And it's Karlaftis. Karlaftis, I believe, is the highest paid defensive end in the NFL that has won the Super Bowl. T.J. Watt, no. Myles Garrett, no. Danielle Hunter, no. Max Crosby, Nick Bosa, Josh Hines-Allen, Brian Burns, Montez Sweat, Rashawn Gary, Van Ginkel.
I guess that means
you got to go all the way down to Karlaftis.
I guess that means that they are not worth it. Sorry, I'm doing the thing where I don't even agree with an argument, so I'm making the argument that is made to point out how absurd that argument always has been. No, of course I don't actually believe that having Myles Garrett would prevent you from doing it. Same way that if he had said, Justin Jefferson, what if he had said Jamar Chase? He can't say Jamar. He can't say it. He knows he can't say that.
No.
But there's just as good of a case for an unstoppable offensive weapon.
I mean, A.J. Brown just won the Super Bowl.
He did.
He's the fifth highest paid receiver in the NFL.
But it's not about like those two positions up against one another. It's just he is saying he'd love to have Garrett. Did he make a call? Did he try to start offers there for Cleveland? You are rebuilding. Let me give you some stuff.
Yeah.
Let me give you firsts and seconds. Let me give you what do you need? I'm here to give it to you.
You know what's interesting? How many positions could you really do this with? Could you do it with all of them? Except for quarterback? Like, hey, when's the last time an elite player at this position has won the Super Bowl?
You could pretty much do it.
Because running back is the position everyone always does it with, right? And Barkley, I know, has happened, so that makes it different. But before Barkley, it's like 20 years of running backs. Just like what LeGarrette Blount's won 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Like no McCaffrey, no Derrick Henry. And if you could do it with edge rusher, I'm wondering if you could do it with almost any. Maybe like left tackle is one of these where you could do it. Tight end is definitely one where, you went from Gronk to Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
So, an elite tight end's won the Super Bowl almost every year. But other than that, I wonder if you could do this with almost anything.
Yeah, it's always been shady at best.
Yeah, that's right.
But does it represent just that he picks the best defensive player in football? Or is there a larger point here about, listen, the Bills have chased this position more than any other. Have they not?
Yes.
They went out and they got quarterback and they nailed it. End of story. Boom. Done. Check. Defensive end, they have chased a lot. A first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, a third-round pick, a Bosa signing, a Von Miller signing,
Trent Murphy
signing, Jerry Hughes,
who was the
re-signing.
Who was the
Leonard
Panther?
Floyd,
They signed a Panther to like a
Mario
$10 million.
Addison.
Mario Addison. Yeah.
Like they're constantly trying this position, and this is a year where they bolster it through free agency and the draft, and Landon Jackson in the draft and Bosa in free agency. I feel like we should kind of get to, and now that they have Maxwell Hairston and Christian Benford, they're going to be here for a while, and if Hairston is good, first-round pick next year, defensive end. First-round pick the next year, defensive end. Like they're just
make it the favorite every year.
Make it the favorite. They're going to chase that forever, and I'm not even saying that it's wrong to. It's a premier position, and taking one in the first round is a great bargain. Rousseau has been that. Rousseau's been a nice player that was cheap for a while. Now he's extended, and now they got a nice defensive end.
Well, there are arguments against it. For sure, going that way. And Beane, like, he explains after that Garrett clip that, like, he talks about wanting to get Mahomes, Jackson, and Burrow on the ground. Like, that is... And he said the same thing about Von Miller. When they asked him on that podcast yesterday about, like, what's the one trade that you were close to that you lose sleep at night? And he referenced not being able to get Von at the deadline before they had signed him in free agency. So that's when he goes to the Rams, and the Rams win the Super Bowl. And he talked yesterday in that podcast about, he does think about, like, the what if. Like, what if Von was
on the 13 seconds
on
team?
that team? Like, would that have been the difference? Because he talks about getting Mahomes on the ground, getting Burrow on the ground. That is what he clearly, I don't even think this is disputable, he clearly views that as the missing piece.
Yeah.
The missing piece of this team. I bet he would say in an honest to God moment, why they haven't won yet is we haven't had that guy.
And then
we haven't had that guy.
They did get him, and they got him for 8 games.
Right. And I think the argument against it is that, other than really the Eagles last year in the Super Bowl, Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow, a little different, but especially Mahomes and Jackson, you can have the best pass rush in the world if they are getting the ball out quick and they are buying time with their feet. Like, they're able to escape that pressure. They're able to neutralize that pressure. The Eagles have had great defensive line. They had an amazing defensive line the year before last year.
Yeah.
And guess what? Oh, the Chiefs' offensive line was a little better, and Mahomes was getting the ball out quicker. So what happened? They never got near him.
They didn't touch him.
They didn't, and that team like set the sack record.
Yes,
they didn't come near him,
and they didn't get him once. Right.
So like there are. I'm not saying it's the worst plan in the world to be this invested in defensive end, but there are arguments against being this obsessed with it. And it also probably means that he made a very aggressive call about Myles Garrett this spring, didn't he?
The guy asked for a trade and said goodbye in a paper.
Like, don't you feel like if the Browns had been willing to play ball and actually trade him, that he might be a Buffalo Bill right now?
I'd love to have found out.
Like, it really feels like to me that he would be a Bill right now. Is he getting outbid? He just said that there's no player in the league that he would rather have.
Right. 803-0550, 1-888-552-550 to join us. It's always an interesting conversation. And again, like, it's always straw-manned about, like, what's Myles Garrett done? How many playoff games does he have? None? Again, of course.
One playoff win. Remember they beat the Steelers in the COVID year?
Oh,
they
that's right.
Smoked them.
They smoked them, that's right.
But that's it in, what, a 10-year career?
Right.
8-year career?
Right. So
Yeah, it's not much.
Excuse us for kind of like making a point about an argument that we don't necessarily agree with, but it's to lay out that the other argument that's made is often not worth agreeing with.
It also is like I wonder about like what happens in his mind with that position, because here's Parsons that is everything he could dream of for that position and that final piece to get Mahomes, Burrow, and Jackson on the ground. Here he is available, and he basically said it with us: can't get him. Can't get him right because of the time of year and because of the cap. You don't have the ability to make that swing right now. And I wonder if this plays into a James Cook discussion or a Connor McGovern discussion or a David Edwards and Osiris Torrance, like all these guys that they're going to have to make a decision on whether or not to pay. Is there a little piece of Beane that's thinking, let me just wait because I want to know if I get a real go at this guy, I want to have everything I have to load up and go get him. And if I've paid $13 million over here for Cook per year, and I've paid $12 million for McGovern over here, well, there's $25 million right there that I can't offer Micah Parsons.
Right.
And I wonder if that's part of his mentality.
Well, if that were true, wouldn't you offer fewer middle-range contracts? The Bills don't. There's this.
But they've already done it.
I know. They've
Right.
done a lot. They've done a lot. If you were constantly going to be obsessed with this position, I almost feel like, whatever, my advice to Beane, if it's even advice, would be, do you have to keep a $25 million space open? Just keep it open. Wait. Mm-hmm. That way, when a Garrett situation or a Parsons situation, by the way, neither of these guys moved, or Hendrickson didn't move, Crosby didn't move.
Yeah.
This is why you draft them, because these guys actually do not get traded.
Right.
The last guy to get traded was Khalil Mack.
Right. Like that's part of the risk. That's part of the not going and getting Josh Palmer and Joey Bosa. Like, sure, that increases my opportunity to go get Micah Parsons, but I need Micah Parsons to actually get traded.
Right.
That's a risk. I'm missing out on players that, sure, like it might not be the smartest business, but they should help me a little bit. This year, I'm trying to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to pass on that for the maybe of this great. Like that's where I get that it would be tough to do.
Yep.
But I don't know. Some of these guys are so good that it might be worth it. It might be worth the risk.
803-0550 on the Bills' relentless pursuit for the great pass rusher. We did see it for 8 games. Vaughn was doing the job. And then they played that game in Detroit, tore his knee up, and that dream kind of died there.